Walking through the hallway, taping cardboard to the glass, watching every golden hour turn into the past. I used to chase the morning just to see it on your face, but now the lights are trespasser inside this hollow place. I'm pulling down the shutter, I'm drawing every blind, 'cause the brightness only reminds me of the soul I left behind. I can't look at the sky without seeing your eyes. I can't stand the way the horizon tells lies, so I'm turning the boat on the day. I'm locking up the sun, I'm hiding from the heat, I'm burying the shadows of the man I used to be. Every ray is a razor, every beam is a ghost of the girl who used to love me the most. I'm living in the midnight where the memories can't run. Yeah, I'm taking back the keys and I'm locking up the sun. The neighbors think I'm crazy, living in a tomb, but they don't see the fire still burning in this room. A different kind of flicker, a different kind of burn, from a lesson in the ashes that I never meant to learn. You were the summer, the solstice and the light. Now I'm just a prisoner of a never-ending night. Let the moon have the garden, let the stars have the street. I'm staying in the dark where the cold feels sweet. If I never see a sunrise, I'll never see you leaving this blacked out sanctuary. I finally can breathe. Kill the porch light, welcome to the rest of my life. No more yellow, no more gold, just the dark and the cold. I'm standing at the crossroad of a town I used to know, but the signs are all rusted and the wind's starting to blow. I checked the map we drew on that diner napkin skin, but I can't find a border where the us used to begin. I've got a pocket full of keys, the doors you went and locked, and a watch that keeps on ticking while my whole world is stopped. I'm calling out for north, but the needle's spinning round. Every road I take just leads me further underground. I'm a stranger to the man I see in the glass. I'm just a man who lost his way, a man who lost his soul, trying to find the pieces of a heart I couldn't hold. You were the horizon, you were my only constant star. Now I'm driving down a highway, wondering where the hell you are. I've got no compass in my hand, no fire in my veins, just a man who lost his way, and a handful of the rains. The gravel's getting deeper and the headlights are dim. I'm haunted by the ghost of who I might have been with him, the version of myself that knew exactly where to turn. Before I watched the bridges and the blueprints start to burn. I used to walk with purpose, I used to walk with pride. Now I'm just a drifter with nowhere left to hide. Is there a U-turn in the sky, a way to double back, to find the muddy footprints on the old familiar track? But the rain has washed the trail away, the sky is turning black, and I'm realizing home is a place I'll never track. Now I'm driving down a highway, wondering where the hell you are. I've got no compass in my hand, no fire in my veins, just a man who lost his way, in a handful of the rain. Which way is home when home was in your eyes? I'm just staring at the darkness of these unfamiliar skies. Is left or right, it's all the same. A man who lost his way, a man who lost his name. Barometer's dropping, the sky's turning bruised. I'm checking the windows for something to lose, but there wasn't a warning, no siren or flare, just the silence you left in the cold kitchen air. The weatherman's quiet, he's got nothing to say about the wreck that you made before walking away. There's no satellite tracking where the love went wrong, no map for a ghost that's been gone for this long. It's a quiet destruction, a beautiful mess. It's a storm with no name, but it's tearing me down. No thunder or lightning, just the weight of the town. It didn't break windows, it just broke my chest. The hurricane heart that won't let me rest. I'm drowning on dry land, shivering in a flame, lost in the wreckage of a storm with no name. I'm sweeping up pieces of how have you been, watching the flood waters crashing back in. You didn't leave footprints, or marks on the door. Just a hollowed out space where I'm not me anymore. They name them for people to help us prepare, but how do I fight what isn't even there? Usually the clouds part and the sun starts to show. Usually there's a place where the debris can go, but this sky stays heavy, this wind never dies. It's just a saltwater rain falling out of my eyes. It's a storm with no name, but it's tearing me down. No thunder or lightning, just the weight of the town. It didn't break windows, it just broke my chest. A hurricane heart that won't let me rest. I'm drowning on dry land, shivering in a flame, lost in the wreckage of a storm with no name, no category 5, no headline on the news, just a man in a room with nothing to lose. Yeah, it's quiet and it's cold and it's never gonna end. A storm with no name. Rain sounds fade into static. The tide is pulling back, leaving hollows in the sand, like the way your fingers slip right out of my hand. The stars are pinned up high, indifferent and cold, watching another forever start to lose its hold. I'm standing in the yard where the grass has turned to rust, tracing out your name in the silver and the dust. There's a fracture in the sky, a jagged little line where the light used to be yours and the light used to be mine. Now it's just a ghost of a glow in the dark, and I'm sitting here beneath the broken moon, watching the midnight end a little too soon. It's cracked right down the middle, just like my chest, a pale lonely circle that won't let me rest. Half of it's missing and the other half's blue, just like the part of me I lost when I lost you. Yeah, I'm howling at the ceiling of a shattered room, beneath a broken moon, beneath a broken moon. I used to think the night was a velvet kind of grace, back when I could see the reflection of your face. But now the shadows bite and the silence is a scream, and there's a glitch in the fabric of every single dream. The man in the moon looks as tired as I feel, searching for a love that was never really real. Maybe if I climb to the highest jagged peak, I can find the pieces that I'm far too weak to seek. I'd glue the sky together, I'd make the circle whole, but I can't fix the gravity that's pulling on my soul. a broken moon, watching the midnight end a little too soon. It's cracked right down the middle, just like my chest, a pale lonely circle that won't let me rest. Half of it's missing and the other half's blue, just like the part of me I lost when I lost you. Yeah, I'm howling at the ceiling of a shattered room, beneath a broken moon, beneath a broken moon. It's just a sliver now, waning in a grave, wishing on a rock that's a million miles away. Yeah, it's broken, I'm broken too, just waiting for the dark to swallow up the view. So hard to whistle fades into the wind. The hum of the fridge is the only sound in the room. Aside from the ghost of your presence, a quiet kind of doom. I filled up 2 mugs like I've done 1,000 times. A force of habit, baby, the worst of all my crimes. I'm sitting at the table where the wood is worn and thin, waiting for a conversation that'll never begin. The steam used to rise like a prayer to the day, but now the white mist has just faded to gray. I'm staring, she asked, all the crave to the gate, and everyone else has just faded to gray. I'm staring at your empty chair, and the clock begins to start, and the coffee's gone cold by 2 a.m. I'm waking up the memories just to kill them all again. There's a film on the surface and a bitter kind of black that tastes exactly like the love that ain't coming back. The kitchen's a graveyard of things we never said, with a cold cup of sorrow and a hollow in my head. Yeah, the fire's gone out and the shadows start to hem, and the coffee's gone cold by 2 a.m. Hey, ooh. I remember the mornings, the sugar and the cream, how we talk about the future like it wasn't just a dream. Now I'm drinking the dregs of a life that went sour, watching the condensation drip hour by hour. I could pour it down the sink, I could go to bed, but I'm holding on to the heat that's already fled. It's just a bean and some water, a simple little thing, but it's the weight of the winter that the silence can bring. If I leave it on the counter, will you walk through the door? Or is lukewarm the best I can hope for anymore? And the coffee's gone cold by 2 a.m. I'm waking up the memories just to kill them all again. There's a film on the surface and a bitter kind of black that tastes exactly like the love that ain't coming back. The kitchen's a graveyard of things we never said, with a cold cup of sorrow and a hollow in my head. Yeah, the fire's gone the shadows start to hem, and the coffee's gone cold by 2 a.m. One more sip, God, it's bitter, like the way you left me here. Just a man in the kitchen in the dead of the year. Pour it out, watch it go. 205 and the wind starts to blow. Streetlights are home in a low hollow tune, and I'm tracing your ghost by the light of the moon. I haven't moved much since you closed the front door. Space in the floorboards, we sanded before. The house is too quiet, it's ringing like that. So I'm talking to shadows and ghosts in my head. I used to find comfort in the reach of your arms. Now I'm just a victim of memories drawn. The coffee is cold and the curtains are drawn. I'm terrified of the arrival of dawn, 'cause the sun is a witness I can't put away. So I'm being cradled in the dark tonight, hiding from the ghost of everything right. The blackness is heavy, but it feels like a friend, 'cause it doesn't show me where our story had to end. In the arms of the midnight, I'm falling apart. Just a man in a shadow and a low beating heart, safe from the vision of you moving on. I'm cradled in the dark until the mercy is gone. I'm wearing that sweater you bought for my birth, the one that still smells like your skin and the earth. If I stay in this corner, if I don't turn the light, I can almost believe you're still here for the night. I'm rocking myself like a child in a storm, trying to remember how it felt to be warm. But the edges of me are beginning to blur in this ink-stained reality of who we once were. They say that the light is the way to the truth, but the truth is a thief that stole all of my youth. So I wrap up in silence and I'll bury the flame, and I whisper to nothing the sound of your of everything right. The blackness is heavy, but it feels like a friend, 'cause it doesn't show me where our story had to end. In the arms of the midnight, I'm falling apart. Just a man in a shadow and a low beating heart, safe from the vision of you moving on. I'm cradled in the dark until the mercy is gone. Don't flip the switch, don't wake the day. Let the ink of the evening wash me away. Just hold me, midnight, hold me tight. I'm cradled in the dark, out of sight. think of the evening wash me away. Just hold me midnight, hold me tight. I'm cradled in the dark, out of sight. Don't flip the switch, don't flip the day. Think of the evening wash me away. Just hold me midnight, hold me tight. I'm cradled in the dark, out of sight. The streetlights are flipped. Ooh, flip the switch. Out of the streetlights are cradled in the dark, out of sight. Don't flip the switch, don't flip the switch. Don't flip the switch, don't flip the switch. Don't flip the switch. The disco ball is shattered, laying jagged on the floor, but I'm still standing here right beside the door. The music skipped a beat, it's stuck on used to be, and I'm dressed up for a ghost that's done with me. I'm reaching for your waist, but my hands just find me air, while the moonlight catches splinters scattered everywhere. I know the song is over, I know the lights are dim, but I can't stand the thought of you dancing there with him. So I'll take one last step into the red and blue, and I'm dancing on broken glass tonight, bleeding out the rhythm in the pale moonlight. Every step is a sting, every turn is a tear, trying to keep the melody of when you were here. My feet are torn to pieces, but I can't stop the track, dancing on the glass just to bring the feeling back. A tuxedo's dinner stain, the wine is dark gone sour. I've been waltzing with your shadow for a lonely hour. They say the time will heal, they say the pain will numb, but they don't see the diamonds that these shards have become. I'm spinning in a circle of the things I didn't say, while the sharpest edge of goodbye cuts the breath away. You break me into atoms, sweep me off the stage. I'm just a tragic footnote on a yellowed page. But as long as there's a flicker, as long as there's a beat, I'll keep the rhythm moving on these bloodstained feet. And now I'm dancing on broken glass tonight, bleeding out the rhythm in the pale moonlight. Every step is a sting, every turn is a tear, trying to keep the melody of when you were here. My feet are torn to pieces, but I can't stop the track, dancing on the glass, just to bring the feeling back. The music's fading, the floor is getting cold. A story of a dancer who wouldn't do what he was told. One more spin, one last crack. I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back. The music's fading, the floor is getting cold. A story of a dancer who wouldn't do what he was told. One more spin, one last crack. I'm never coming back. The disco ball is shattered, the music's fading, the music's fading. The disco ball is shattered, the disco ball is shattered, the floor is getting. I'm never coming back. The disco ball is shattered, the disco ball is shattered, and music fading. I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back. heavy iron heartbeat, echoing the rhythm of my own slow retreat. I'm staring out the window at the towns we used to know, watching every mile marker scream, I told you so. I bought a one-way ticket just to see how far it goes, to the place where the summer wind finally turns to snow. Your conductor's calling out names I don't recognize, while I'm hiding the salt water pooling in my eyes. There's no more track to lay, no more steam to burn. And I'm standing at the end of the line tonight, where the rails disappear out of human sight. I've run out of gravel, I've run out of grace, searching for the ghost of your beautiful face. But the station is empty and the signal is red. Everything we live for is better off dead. Yeah, the journey is over, I got nothing to find, just the end of a line, and you left me behind. I left a suitcase full of sorries on the platform back in June, and a locket with a picture that I threw into the phone. I thought if I kept moving, the pain would lose its scent, but it's a passenger that doesn't pay a single cent of rent. Now the brakes are screaming mercy as the metal meets the rust, and our whole life is settling like a coat of silver dust. There's no more next stop, no more see you soon, just a hollow reflection of a cold afternoon. I'm stepping off the carriage into air that's thin and gray, realizing that forever was just a stop along the way. Just the end of the line, end of the track, end of the road, dropping the weight of this heavy, heavy load. The conductor is gone, the lights are all dim, and you're at a station somewhere with him. Somewhere with him. The ridge is cutting deep into the belly of the sky, and I'm watching the orange and the violet start to die. I used to love the evening, the way it settled on the pines, back when your hand was warm and tangled up in mine. But now the air is thinning and the chill is moving in, and I'm tracing where the shadows end and where my regrets begin. The birds are gone to ground, the river's running black. There's a silence in the timber that I can't take back. I'm standing on a porch, staring at the west, and it's the last light in a valley, the dying watching the last light in the valley fade away. Ooh. The wood stove's getting low, but I can't find the will to move. I'm stuck inside the hollow of a worn out, lonely groove. I see the kitchen window of the house across the creek, and I wonder if they're happy or if their foundation's weak. We built our home on high ground, or so I used to think, until the earth started shifting and the sun began to sink. They say the stars are brighter when the world goes dark and still, but I'd trade the whole damn galaxy to see you on that hill, coming home to meet me before the fire burns out, instead of being haunted by the ghost of every doubt. The last light in the valley, the dying of the day, watching every memory of you slowly slip away. The mountains look like giants, cold and carved in stone, and they're the only thing that's left to see me here alone. I'm reaching for the gold, but I'm holding on to gray, watching the last light in the valley fade away. There goes the sun behind the jagged peak. The shadows are the only things that hear me when I speak. Good night to the meadow, good night to the blue, good night to the version of me that was still loved by you. I'm staring at the ceiling in the glow of a dying screen, trying to find a signal for the spaces in between. I've been scrolling through our history just to feel a little spark, but the screen keeps getting dimmer as I'm sitting in the dark. I reach for the cable, but the wires are afraid, just like the connection and the promises we made. The red bar is flashing, a warning in the night. I'm down to my last percent, I'm holding on too tight. No outlet in the wall can bring you back to life. I've got a low battery heart and it's fading fast, living on the power of a love that couldn't last. I'm searching for a charge in a room that's bone cold, trying to keep a grip on a story already told. One more heartbeat and the blackness starts to creep. A low battery heart just wants to go to sleep. I remember when we started, we were running at full speed, 100% of everything a lonely man could need. But apps that doubt were running in the background of our days, and I love you turned to static in a digitalized trace. Now I'm optimized with sorrow, I'm power saving grief, but there's no restart button to bring me some relief. Don't send me a notification, don't ping me with the hey. I don't have the energy to pass another day. The screen is flickering, it's getting hard to see. Is there anybody left inside of me? I got a low Staring at this hero. I'm staring at the zero. I'm staring at the ceiling. Clock on the microwave is the only light I've got, bleeding neon green across the floorboards where we fought. I'm sitting in your chair because mine feels way too wide, trying to find the words that we kept buried deep inside. There's a stack of mail I haven't opened, addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Now it's just a paper trail of everything this house missing. I'm tracing the rings that the damn glass is made, watching the yellow in the wallpaper fade. It's funny how the silence is the loudest thing I've heard. And it's midnight at the kitchen table again, trying to remember when the walls were a friend. I'm staring at the salt and the pepper on the wood, waiting for a sorry that I never understood. The fridge is humming low like a funeral hymn, while the ghost of your shadow makes the room feel dim. Yeah, I'm breaking in the dark, unable to move. Just midnight at the kitchen table, with nothing left to prove. I found a grocery list tucked under the fruit bowl base, in your messy cursive that I still want to embrace. Milk, bread, and honey, such a simple way to live, before we ran out of the things we used to give. Now I'm drinking lukewarm water from a glass you used to hold. Feeling every second turn my spirit in a mold. We used to solve the world over coffee and a crust. Now the table's just a graveyard covered in the dust. If I wait until the morning, will the kitchen feel the same? Or will the breakfast note just whisper out your name? Turn the faucet off, it's dripping on my heart. Watch the shadows stretching, pull the room apart. I'll just sit here until the sun turns gray. Midnight at the kitchen table won't go away. I'm standing on the corner of Fifth and Despair, with a collar turned up against the heavy city air. The mist is rolling in like a thick white shroud, and I'm just a face lost inside of a cloud. I can't see the pavement, I can't see the sky, just a blur of the world as the ghosts go by. I'm looking for a signal, a flicker of what's real, but the damnness is the only thing I'm allowed to feel. Everything is hidden, everything is gone, except for the neon signs glowing in the fog like a lonely lighthouse in a sea of heavy smog. Pink and electric, a hazy shade of blue, staining the mist with the memory of you. They're buzzing and they're bleeding, flickering on and off, like a heart that's grown weary, like a persistent cough. I'm reaching for the color, but it's just a ghost of a light, lost in the neon signs in the middle of the night. The open sign is buzzing at the bar across the street, casting bloody shadows on the puddles at my feet. It used to look like magic, it used to look like home, back when we had a rhythm, before I had to roam. Now the light is fractured, it's broken and it's smeared, just like the future that we never should have feared. If the fog would only lift, maybe I could find the door, but the glow is just a trap and I can't take it anymore. It's a beautiful distraction from the hollow in my chest, a technicolor nightmare that won't let me rest. Signs glowing in a fog like a lonely lighthouse in a sea of heavy smog. Pink and electric, a hazy shade of blue, stained in the mist with the memory of you. They're buzzing and they're bleeding, flickering on and off, like a heart that's grown weary, like a persistent call. I'm reaching for the color, but it's just a ghost of a light, lost in the neon signs in the middle of the night. Magenta and gold, fading into white. Everything is blurry, nothing is right. Just the hum of the gas and the sting of the glow in a city of shadow with nowhere to go. Found that Polaroid tucked in a dusty sleeve, back when forever was a thing we both believed. The edges are frayed, the colors starting to bleed into that vintage gold, like a soul in need. You're leaning on my shoulder, laughing at the rain, before we knew the way kind of pain. Now the sunlight hits the dust in our empty room, and every shadow smells like your old perfume. I'm holding on to paper, 'cause I can't hold you. Now we're just a memory in sepia tones, two ghosts sitting on a throne of broken bones. The warmth is fading out, the image is blurred. I'm screaming your name, but it's a silent word. I'm losing the blue of your eyes to the gray, just a sepia tone goodbye that won't fade away. Try to trace the outline of your smile with my thumb, but my heart's gone heavy and my hands gone numb. The developer's chemical, the passage of years, everything's stained by the salt of these tears. We look so happy in a world that doesn't exist, just a flicker of in the morning mist. If I could shake the picture, would you come back to life? Would the colors bleed back? Would you still be my wife? But the yellow's taking over, the borders are torn. I'm mourning a love that's been weathered and worn. Sepia tones, in the blue of your eyes to the gray. Just a sepia tone goodbye that won't fade away. Put it back in the box, let the dust settle down. In the sepia world, I'm the one who's gonna drown. Just a shade of what we were, a shade of you. It's 3 in the morning and the silence is loud. I'm searching for your face in a digital cloud. Thumb keeps scrolling through the years we spent, trying to decipher where the signal went. I know I should sleep, I know I should quit, but I'm addicted to the ghost of how the screen stays lit. I see you active now, but you're miles away. Got 1,000 things that I'll never say, so I type a little message just to delete the pain. And I'm drowning in the blue light of my phone, the coldest color when you're all alone. It's washing out my skin, it's staying in my eyes, while I'm looking for the truth in a gallery of lies. A glowing little rectangle is all I have left of a heart that's been hollowed by a cellular theft. Yeah, I'm shivering in the neon, chill to the bone, in the blue light of my phone. I'm zooming in on photos until the pixels break, searching for a sign of a heart about to ache. Did you know back then? Was it already gone? While I'm staring at the light that I'm still hanging on, the battery is dying, the bars are getting low, but I can't find the strength to just let you go. It's a window to a world where you still care, but I reach through the glass and there's nobody there. Just a flicker and a hum and a ghost in the palm of my hand, trying to find a connection in a dead zone land. And I'm drowning in a blue light of my phone, the coldest color when you're all alone. The street lamps flickering, a dying neon pulse. I'm checking for a shadow, but it's always someone else. The bench is cold and peeling, carved with names I'll never know. And the wind is picking up the scent of rain and early snow. I'm holding two tickets that have long since expired. Just a man in a coat, looking lonely and tired. Every pair of headlights is a hope that starts to bloom. Then they pass me by and leave me in this yellow tinted gloom. I'm waiting on a ghost that took the last ride out of town. At the bus stop at midnight, I'm watching for you. In the corner of a city that's turned a shade of blue. The schedule says you're gone, but my heart says you're late. So I'm sitting on this metal, just a victim of the weight. The exhaust hits the air like a long, heavy sigh. At the bus stop at midnight, where we said our last goodbye. The 12:15 just rumbled by, it didn't even slow. The driver didn't look at me, he had somewhere to go. I remember how you stood here with your suitcase by your side, with a look in your eyes that told me something died. I should have grabbed your hand, I should have begged for you to stay. Instead I watched the taillights bleed into the gray. The city's going quiet, the shops are locking up. I'm drinking bitter memories from a paper coffee cup. If I wait until the morning, will the world start to make sense? Or am I just a fool hanging on to past tense? Said our last goodbye. No more buses coming, the sign just says not in service. And the silence in my chest is making me nervous. I'll just walk home alone through the dark and the grit. But a part of me is sitting here and I can't make it quick. I kept your number like a lucky charm I couldn't trade. In a house full of choices, you're the only one I made. I thought if I gave everything, the universe would bend. That love was a ladder that we'd never stop ascending. But the higher I climbed, the thinner the air became, until I was the only one still calling out your name. I studied your heartbeat like it was a holy text, waiting for forever that never made it to next. Now I'm staring at the the chalkboard of a life we didn't get. And it's the hardest lesson learned, the one that leaves a scar that you can give the moon and still not be someone's star. I learned you can't make somebody stay if they're already gone, that the darkest part of moving on is waking up at dawn. Yeah, I passed the test of losing you, but I failed at keeping us. It's the hardest lesson learned, and it's buried in the dust. There's no extra credit for the nights I spent away, no curve for the rhythm of a heart about to break. I thought love was a safety net, a promise in a home, but it's just a wild bird that's gotta be free to roam. I'm unlearning the way you taste and the way you say my name. Turns out fire doesn't care what it turns into a flame. They say time is a teacher, she's cruel and she's cold. She takes all the silver and she turns it into mold. I filled up the margins with the reasons why you left. Now I'm graduating lonely, a master of this theft. It's the hardest lesson learned, the one that leaves a scar that you can give the moon and still not be someone's star. I learned you can't make somebody stay if they're already gone, that the darkest part of moving on is waking up at dawn. Yeah, I passed the test of losing you, but I failed at keeping us. It's the hardest lesson learned, and it's buried in the dust. Taught me how to say goodbye, the hardest lesson. The clock on the wall is alive. It's been stuck at 2:03 since you packed up your silence and walked out on me. I memorized the patterns of the shadows on the floor and the way the wind whistles through the crack in the door. The sun should have risen 3 lifetimes ago, but the sky is a curtain that won't start the show. I'm checking my phone just to see if it's dead, but it's just the ghost of the last thing you said. I'm sorry sounds heavy when it's all that is left. And I'm drifting through the hours of the longest night, praying for a sliver of the morning light. But the darkness is an ocean, and I'm learning I try to close my eyes, but the pillow feels like stone. It's funny how a king-size bed feels small when you're alone. I can still feel the heat where you used to lay your head. Now it's just a cold spot and a mess of unmade thread. The stars are getting tired, they're starting to blink out, but I'm still wide awake with this poison of a doubt. Is there a planet where the sun never sets, or is this just a tax on our heart's regrets? I trade all my tomorrows for yesterday with you, before the black and white took the place of all the blue. Through the hours of the longest night, praying for a sliver of the morning light. But the darkness is an ocean, and I'm learning how to sing with nothing but the memory of your ghost to drink. Every second is a mountain, every minute is a mile, in the wreckage of a world that ended with your smile. Yeah, I'm dying in the dark, waiting for the light, lost inside the rhythm of the longest night. Still no time, still no time. Just the weight of a love that didn't want to stay. Counting the heartbeats, watching the rain. This is the longest night, and it's only the start of the pain. I've been the anchor in the middle of the gale, keeping the water high and patching up the sail. I wore the armor, I held a heavy line, telling everybody that I was doing fine. But the metals on my chest are starting to rust, and the hero you wanted is turning back to dust. I'm a mountain of a man with a valley in its soul, and I've lost the strength to keep under control. The shaking in my hands and the burning in my eyes. 'Cause I'm tired of being brave, I'm tired of being strong. I've been carrying this steady for a little too long. The world wants a soldier who can take the blow, but I just want a place where I can let it all go. I'm folding the flag, I'm dropping the shield, I'm just a wounded heart in an empty field. Yeah, I'm done with the fight, I'm done with the wave. God, I'm just so tired of being brave. There's no one to catch me if I finally fall, so I built up the bricks and I thickened the wall. But the mortar is cracking under the weight of a love that I lost to the hands of fate. I miss the way you let me be small for a while, before I had to mask it all behind this plastic smile. Does it make me a coward if I wanna cry? If I'm sick of the tough it out and the do or die? I've been a lighthouse for everyone else, while I'm shipwrecked and drowning all by myself. But I just want a place where I can let it all go. I'm folding the flag, I'm dropping the shield. I'm just a wounded heart in an empty field. Yeah, I'm done with the fight, I'm done with the wave. God, I'm just so tired of being brave. Lay the armor down, let the silence in. I don't need to win, I don't need to win. Just let me be broken for a minute or two, without the world watching, without the ghost of you. I'm standing where the gravel meets the rusted iron soul of a town that took my spirit and swallowed it up whole. The wind is kicking up the dust of every should've stayed, and the ghosts of all the love yous that we never actually played. I've got a suitcase full of nothing, and a heart that's out of time, and a memory of your kitchen that I'm treating like a crime. I can't stay in the zip code where we used to be, I can't breathe the air that's suffocating me. So I'm looking for a rhythm that can carry me away, and I'm following the train tracks to anywhere else, to a place where I don't have to face the shadow of myself. North, south, east or west, it doesn't matter the name, as long as the horizon doesn't whisper out your fame. I'm a runaway freight car, clicking on the bone of a world that was a kingdom, and a man who's now alone. Yeah, I'm riding on the silver, trying to break the spell on the train tracks to anywhere, as long as it's not this hell. I remember how we used to count the cars as they went by, making wishes on the diesel under a summer heavy sky. Now the whistle sounds like screaming, and the engine sounds like grief, and the speed is the only thing that brings me some relief. I'm passing through the cornfields and the broken neon lights, trying to outrun the ghost of all those long and lonely nights. station where the hurt doesn't know my face. A platform in a city that's got a little bit of grace. Because the further that I get, the more I realize that the tracks are just a circle, and I'm still staring at your eyes. To anywhere else, to a place where I don't have to face the shadow of myself. North, south, east or west, it doesn't matter the name, as long as the horizon doesn't whisper out your fame. I'm a runaway freight car, clicking on the bone of a world that was a kingdom and a man who's now alone. Yeah, I'm riding on the silver, trying to break the spell on the train tracks to anywhere, as long as it's not this hell. Just a mile more, just 100 miles more, away from the porch light, away from your door. Click, clack.
The fighting whistle is a cold steel blade, cutting through the gold, still the promises we made. I put on my boots and I lace them up tight to hide the way I'm shaking from the middle of the night. My hands are calloused and my back is spent, but I can't find the overtime to pay for where you went. I can fix a leaky pipe or an engine's broken gears, but there ain't a tool in the shed for these kinds of tears. I'm a master of the trade, but I'm a novice at the pain. This is a different kind of labor, a different kind of weight, trying to punch the clock when your heart's a heavy freight. I can move a mountain, I can build a house of stone, but I can't build a bridge back to a love that's gone and flown. Lord, the work never ends, but the pay is just the same. Just a working man's blues and a whisper of your name. At the sight, they don't ask why I'm quiet. They see the way I'm staring, like I'm caught inside a riot. I'm welding the seams of a skyscraper's frame, while the structure of my life is going up in flame. I used to come home to a light in the hall. Now I just come home to the dirt and a soul turned gray. I'm just trading my life for flat hourly pay. If sweat could wash away the way I miss your touch, I'd be a clean man, baby, but I'm asking for too much.
job that never ends.